Hey kids, tired of wimpy plants that just won't grow? Introducing Real Growers Grow Dots and Recharge, the ultimate power-up for your garden adventures. Grow Dots are the slow-release magic dots that feed your plants for the entire grow cycle. No more daily chores. And Recharge, it's the micro-packed booster that supercharges roots for epic growth. Watch your garden conquer the yard like Cortez the Konqueror. Get your Grow Dots and Recharge now at this exclusive deal from Cortez. Head to www.realgrowers.com/Cortez, available while supplies last. Parents, your garden needs this. Order today.
What's going on, everybody? It's Cortez the Conqueror, and I want to welcome all of you guys to a new episode of Conversations with Cortez. Brought a pretty good buddy of mine in today. Some of you guys may know him as Jim from Seedsman, but others may know him as Jesus Plants. Let's go ahead and bring in the guest. What's going on, brother? How you doing over there?
What's up, my man? How we doing, man? Thanks for having me on.
Pretty good. Appreciate you coming, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm blessed to be here. It's a beautiful Sunday here in good old Illinois, and getting hot. Next week we're looking into the 90s, so I got the air conditioner.
It's a little hot today itself over here in Chicago.
Yeah, for sure. It's yeah, you're right next to me, man. You're only about an hour away from me, so
maybe if that depends on traffic, depends on construction that day. You know what I mean? But
always construction.
They do say we got two seasons. We got winter and we got construction.
That's very true, man.
Good old Chicago joke for everybody.
Yeah. Definitely. And potholes. Don't forget the potholes, man. We're loaded with potheads and potholes, you know?
I know. Don't remind the tie rods on my car.
Yeah. No, it's definitely
before
awesome
we get too deep into the podcast, do you want to go ahead and give yourself a proper shout out, man?
Yeah, I'm Jim. Most of you know me on Instagram and YouTube as Jesus Plants. Also Seeds for Charity. We run a charity organization each month. Usually it's the first Friday of each month. This next one is actually July 10th. I believe that's the second Friday of the month. But
see what you guys did there, 7/10.
Yeah, a little play on the oil, you know. So, but yeah, no, we Seeds for Charity has been going on for a little over a year now. We've raised close to $15,000 in that time. So it's been a blessing to be a part of that, man. It's really cool. Got a team of about 5 people working on it full time, and then I say it's a team effort. It's a huge cannabis family effort that comes together each month, donating seeds and just making it happen. It's a blessing. It's a gift from God to be able to make this plant help others in any way we can. So anytime we're able to do that,
brother.
Yeah, for sure. Anytime we're able to do that, it's a blessing. So. But yeah, that is
really cool what you guys are doing over there. Like, I know I just had Chonky on the DGC recap show, and he was talking about how one of the charities you guys did was for somebody that lost their mom, just so they could kind of get like their like little last minute stuff in order to send her off the right way. So
that's what it's all about, because I mean, if I counted the amount of times I've been helped by family and friends, I would need a book, to write it down, how many times. So anytime we're able to help each other, it's a big family, right? So, hey, and while we're here, if anyone else wants to reach out, if you guys got anything, don't feel free to, don't be afraid to reach out to me on Instagram or anything. If anybody ever needs help or has an organization that they think needs some help, we'd love to look into it. So
most definitely. And then what I'm going to do for you as well, through the power of editing magic here, if you guys go into the description, I'm going to have links to Jim's Instagram as well as the Seeds for Charity YouTube page. So everybody's got a direct link to subscribe to what you guys got going on over there.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that big time.
No problem at all.
For sure.
But where do we get started? It'd be pretty cool. Let's do like X-Men Origins, like Wolverine kind of thing. Let's take them all the way back, Jim.
I'll take them back.
Where did take it way back, man? Where did it all start for you on the ride with the plant here? When were you
So,
introduced?
so for me, smoking wise, I tried it a few times in high school. Sorry, mom. Uh, Tried it a few times in high school and it never really clicked. Just didn't really, I don't know, maybe it was the scenario or I don't know what you want to call it, but it just didn't do it for me then. Um, Fast forward to college, went and played football. My freshman year, I went off to Indianapolis, and it was a Division II school, and we weren't allowed to smoke because we got drug tested. So it wasn't really even a thought of mine. But there were some guys that smoked. I got into drinking pretty heavily. I mean, like uncomfortably heavily. I was drinking probably 4 to 6 nights a week. Not living the healthiest life, man. And I know that sounds like something a freshman in college typically does, but doesn't feel good, right? So ended up, just kind of switching my lane, and I actually went to Chicago College, St. Xavier, and
Okay.
played football there. And we were NAI, so we didn't get drug tested. So the whole team was a bunch of potheads, man. And I'm like, dude, all these guys do is smoke weed. I'm like, I guess I'll give it a whirl. So I went over to the buddies, and we were getting the 3 for 10s, man. You get three blunts for $10 from our buddy, and we just
You guys were going over there by Macho Grams off Madison and Pulaski?
We were 103rd and Pulaski. That's hilarious. That's where we were at. We were the apartment's right over by that mobile gas station, bro. That's where we live, man. Right back there. And we were basically playing NHL for hours and freaking smoking blunts. And before you know it, dude, I was like, dude, I'm actually able to smoke this, and I'm having more of a good time than I was drinking. And I'm able to wake up and go to class. I'm able to play football. It wasn't affecting my lungs.
You don't got to hear about everything you did the night before that you don't remember while you were drunk, but it's like,
Dude,
damn,
it wouldn't even
I was
happen.
an asshole.
Exactly. So basically, it came part of my lifestyle. It was like a cigarette. And then you get into the dabs later in life, and before you know it, it's a lot of good times. But in my life, I went through some rough times, some addictions, some alcohol addictions, some drug addictions, and marijuana's always been there. For me to it's the only thing that I don't need it, but I definitely enjoy life with it, and I don't need anything else in my life. I'm blessed. Jesus Christ gave us this as a gift, not as something we should abuse. So it's a gift, it's a blessing to be able to use this. And I'm glad it happened the way it did in my life. And I always seem to go back to her. So Mary Jane seems like she's going to be a part of my life for probably the whole time. So, yeah.
Well, it's not the worst thing in the world, though. I mean, there's definitely worse vices. You know what I mean?
To be honest, man, some of the studies I've seen, it's actually it's like a workout for your lungs. So, and I exercise, I run like crazy. I smoke before I lift every time. I'm hitting a dab before I go in. I know that sounds crazy, but it helps me out. I don't know. It makes me, like we were talking backstage, man, it helps me kind of get into my groove. When I don't feel like doing something, maybe it gives me a little bit of, I'm not going to say energy, but it gives me like a
gives
feeling,
you a little bit of an edge.
Yeah, just a feeling of like I could get through this. You know what I'm saying? Say a quick prayer, hit a quick hit, and get after it. You know what I'm saying?
A little confidence booster. I feel you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you are a pretty athletic guy. When I seen you at the DGC Cup, it looked like you were dressed for an impromptu pickup basketball game there.
I am a hooper. I haven't played, so I pulled my hammy pretty bad. So I haven't played in about a year, but for a while there, man, I was playing.
You was out there like White Iverson.
Yeah, I get addicted to sports too, so I had to calm down on that. I was starting to play a little too much. My family was getting mad at me, so.
Yeah, but you got to prioritize,
Yeah, you do. Pick one hobby.
But then, you kind of talked about it. You kind of had cannabis there for you for more of the medicinal things, kind of helped you through a hard time with some alcohol issues. But I mean, let's transition a little bit from there. When did you get introduced to growing?
Ooh.
So when did you kind of go from like smoker, casual user to more of like cultivator?
So 5 years ago I started growing, and my grandma passed away about almost a year ago now. And before she passed, though, so years ago, she didn't want to wait until she passed away to give us all, didn't know she was leaving us anything, but she gave me and my cousins each about 10 grand each. which was a blessing, right? That was a nice little come up. Like I said, all the times I've been blessed, I have to write a book. So I took that money and I didn't use it all on grow equipment, but I was like, hey man, I'm tired of paying, what I pay in Illinois at the dispensary. And I also, some of my buddies that I get stuff from is good, but after a while you get tired of driving
What are they
around.
charging you guys out there in the burbs, man? Like 60,
Oh,
$70 for an A?
no, it's not that high. I don't think. Honestly, I haven't bought flour from the dispensary yet. I only get like
Concentrates, gummies and stuff.
sometimes, and I'm blessed enough to even do that for myself. I press my own stuff, so I do pretty all right. But when I do have to go, it's pricey. It's too much and the quality of the stuff isn't that great, to be honest with you. It's okay.
It's really not.
It's
okay. And
okay.
it's usually like old weed.
Yeah, or the resin is like, if I get throat itchy resin, I'm good. Like I don't want to take a dab and go, yeah, I don't know if I want another one of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like to smoke, and part of the smoke, the experience for me is the quality of the smoke. I'm smoking this joint. I haven't coughed, but maybe once. It's nice, it's smooth. I grew it. I know it's in it. No sprays, none of that stuff. So,
no Eagle 20 sprinkled in there.
Yeah, yeah.
None of that fun stuff.
Exactly.
So tell us, man, what did your first grow setup look like? Did you go out and like get a Mars Hydro kit? Yeah. Did you try to like piece together some China stuff off of Amazon? What were you working with, brother?
I got me a 4x4 Mars Hydro full setup, like the 4x4 with I think it came with maybe 150 watt light or something at the time. I can't remember exactly what size it was, but yeah, I got
the same one I got. That's why I'm laughing.
It's hilarious, and it was perfect. I grew first plants I got from ILGM. They were their wedding cake strain, and I actually, now looking back at it, I killed it. I did a great job. I was very into, before I started growing, I studied. Man, I watched YouTube for probably a month or two. Every night, and took notes. I did. That's how I kind of am when I want to learn something anyway. I'm sure a lot of guys are, and women too. We as people are in tune to want to learn stuff, right? So I just took notes, man. I took notes. 4x4 in my freaking master bedroom. My, at the time, girlfriend, now wife, was kind of looking at me funny because we didn't realize that a lot of the stuff you use in like dry amendments and all that smell pretty bad.
Oh,
you got them in your master bedroom trying to sleep, and it smells like fish bone meal and things like that, So I ended up gutting out my closet, which is next to the 4x4, while we still had the 4x4 going, and I grew in there as well. So my first setup was in our master bedroom. Did that for close to about a year and a half, dude. And yeah, she convinced me to get out of there. We went to the garage. I had my 10x10 flower tent out there. Then I had a 5x5 veg tent. It worked well. I put
pretty nice setup.
It is. And I had a,
keep that perpetual going.
I did. I had an air conditioner in the tent, vented out like an actual, like, one of those like ground units or whatever. But the problem is my garage just was not very grow friendly. It was, like I was telling you before the show, it was built from the previous owners, and it leaks and just a lot of bad stuff. And it's not electrical. It wasn't built for 2 grow tents and all the. I was running like 1,500 watts of LEDs in the flower
blowing circuit breakers and everything else.
You name it. You got extension cord city going all over the place, And then now, what I was telling
you, which appliances in your house will shut it off.
Yeah.
Like, no, don't turn the microwave on until I turn this off. What are you doing?
Yeah. Yep. It's just, I there was one time, what scared the crap out of me was coming out, and one of my, those AC Infinity, nothing against them. It was the way it's my garage. I had it set up all frigged up. I had a heater hooked up to it. And it was set to where it would kick on and kick off when temperatures would whatever. Well, it was kicking on and off like back and forth. Freaking melted the damn thing, dude. Melted it. Yeah. So I'm like, dude, I could have started my garage on fire. So I said, that's enough, man. Got to do something about this, and built that shed. And now I'm, built it. It's for growing. It's fully, there's, I got my own breaker box in the shed. I got a mini split, 2 rooms. I got the veg room up top, flower room down low. It's got my own water
You don't
line.
got to worry about
No.
short cycling your space heater there and burning the whole place down.
I got nothing. And if it did start on fire, it's in the shed outside. It's not in the house. So,
Right.
So, I'm blessed, man. I've spent a lot of money on all that stuff, but if you want to grow indoor, you don't have to spend a bunch of money if you have the environmental control in your house where you're putting your tent. But if you don't, I suggest building something that you can control the environment, because you're not going to have a good time when it gets 90 something degrees in your grow. It's just going to cook your plants. Or if you're battling the other way too, where you can't get above 70 degrees, your plants are going to struggle.
Right.
So yeah, it's a game, man.
Is probably the more common one for people, and there is a lot of dangers there, because anytime you're getting into like high 80s, 90 degrees, a lot of times you can run into intersexuality with your plants to where they start herming, start throwing nanner and pollens.
When it gets hot, the bugs really spike up. And that's one thing.
I know there's a measurement for that. It's like for every degree, and then like every 5 degrees of temperature, like how the bug populations just times into like the millions.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, that's one thing I want to mention. As if there's any newer growers or just anyone looking to learn anything, my first thing I wish I would have learned before I even learned how to grow the plant is how to defend it from bugs. Yeah, like I was telling you, I'm all about the predatory mites. I got a subscription from Nature's Good Guys, and that's not the one. They work good for me. Their bugs show up alive, so that works for me. But there's
I've gotten from them before.
Yeah.
I got some rove. Those things are gangsters in the garden.
Yeah,
rove
those
beetles,
are soil dwellers.
Savages.
Rove beetles go in the soil and they eat all the fungus, gnat larvae, and all that stuff. Yeah, they're great. They're killers, man. They fly too. So.
Yeah, I've got bit by them. Those fuckers are mean, dude.
Yeah, dude, they're freaking getting in there and getting after it. They thought you were trying to attack the plants, man. That's all.
Right. They're like, back up. I'm security in here.
Yeah, but no, I would learn that. I would learn IPM and sprays should be your secondary option. That should be if you can't figure it out with predatory mites, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So. That's a big something that I would.
I really like the Lost Coast. It's not a sponsor of the show or anything, but I'll usually go in there regardless with some of that. Maybe in like early veg.
It's all peppermint oil and all just different oils.
Yeah, all natural, all organic. Good. That's why I don't mind using it. And then like if I'm flipping a tent, usually like I don't know, maybe like a couple 2-3 days before I flip. I'll spray them because I'm not going to spray in flour.
Right.
So maybe a couple 2-3 days before I flip them, I'll go in there like real heavy with it just to hit them, just to kind of bless them.
The cool thing is,
name of the sun.
Right, exactly. The cool thing is if you have to spray in flour with that stuff, you actually can. I mean, obviously we're not trying to, right? But if you do have to, if you have some crazy outbreak or something, which I would suggest going right to that predatory mite, just Google what you got and say, hey, what can I do to get rid of this using predatory mites? And you'll be surprised.
I'm getting predatory mites, rove beetles, ladybugs like that or anything.
Ladybugs are good if you have an immediate food source. If you don't, they'll leave.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If you don't have for them to eat, they'll leave.
The prolific fornicators of the garden.
Yeah.
They have ditty parties in the tent.
Green, is it green lacewings? They work really well.
I've never used those.
They do really well. Those are more for if you have like crazy outbreaks, you buy all that and they'll eat it up quick. Whereas all the stuff that I use, these sachets and other things, they eat live too. But I usually, the sachets have a mix of adults with eggs to babies and all that stuff. And they'll crawl out the sachets and kind of control the plant. And then when I'm done, I get my next, every 3 weeks, I get another round of my mites. I'll take the old sachets, rip them open and dump them on the base. So you'll get like a double. Yeah. My plants are freaking protected, man. I feel pretty confident, even if there is some thrips or some whatever, I'm like, oh, good. They'll get eaten up. That's good food supply for all my little buddies.
Be a nice food source.
Yeah.
Build them right into my ecosystem.
Yeah. And do worms and stuff too. It's fun, dude. It's, I grew up not really caring about bugs that much. Like, I just they weren't my thing. And now it's like one of my obsessions is freaking bugs. Dude, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. So pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Definitely cool, man. But yeah,
So
sorry, I
where
got off
did
topic.
Seedsman come into your grow journey?
Oh man, so it's a blessing. Crazy story for that. I was growing seedsman genetics probably like year 2, 3. I found them on, if you Google cannabis seeds, they pop up. It's one of the top results. So I jumped on there like anybody else does when they're looking to get into something, and started buying their.
Seedsman definitely is one of the biggest seed banks out there.
Oh yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
dude, their genetics are great, man. Like they got some fire stuff. The banana jealousy is one that I actually fell in love with. That actually got me this job. It's hilarious. I uh, I grew it out a few times. Had some really good luck. Had some really nice looking plants from her. And this one in particular, I reviewed on their website and posted it on Reddit and the whole 9 yards. I went crazy with it. Just banana jealousy season, blah blah blah. And Tom Rakes, who's my boss now,
Tom from Seedsman.
Tom from Seedsman. Yep. He reached out
The
via
infamous
email.
Tom.
The infamous Tom. He emailed me. He's like, "Hey man, that plant looks really nice." And I was like, "I knew who it was."
Dare I say at this point he might be bigger than Tom from MySpace.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He is, dude. He definitely is, man. For
Tom
sure.
right there, bro.
He's a cool guy, man. He's definitely blessed to work for a company that it's a international. They got warehouses all over the world, and it's pretty cool to work with so many different heads in the cannabis game that speak different languages and are very very artistic and just know a lot of stuff. There's a lot that goes into it because this is warehousing at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what product it is. It's really,
logistics.
yeah, it's logistics and warehousing, and it's a good company to work for. Blessed to be able to do this, but the story is Tom reached out and I shot my shot, man. I said, I knew who he was. I was like, hey man, I was a warehouse supervisor.
Tom right there.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, what's going on, man? You guys hiring? And we got into conversation. I can't remember exactly how it happened, but their warehouse where they're at before here was up in freaking Burr Ridge. It was 50 minutes away.
That's not far.
No, I mean, what's the chances? They got one place in the whole United States, and it's right in my backyard, pretty much. So we get to talking, and he was looking to start his own warehouse because he was third party in it before, and I was like, man, I know how to manage warehouses. That's what I do. And before you know it, I was in a big U-Haul.
It's in your wheelhouse right there.
I picked up the whole entire seed room and moved it to where we're at, and that's what it's been a couple years since. And yeah, we're rocking, man. It's really cool to do this. My best friend's my Big Toes is my assistant manager, and I got to hire the team. And yeah, he's been here a few times. Tom comes down with Nick Jones, he's the Tiger One wholesale guy. He's been at a lot of the shows, and a lot of people know him. If they've ever been to like a lot of those conventions, Mary Jane and all that stuff. But yeah, dude, it's been a blessing, man. It's Tom's a cool guy, awesome boss to work for, and Seedsman's a great company. They're always looking to step up their game in some way, genetics or whatever it is. They got a great following of people and influencers and all that stuff too. So it's definitely cool to be a part of it all, for sure. And it got me, to be honest, without Seedsman, I probably wouldn't be on the show because, I didn't even think to start reaching out to people to try to do charities and all that stuff. So that me and Chunk got hooked up through Grambo. So shout out to Mr. Josh Grambo for definitely getting us together, and, charity is a blessing. So yeah, that's how Seedsman happened. It's crazy, man.
A shout out that I want to give is somebody that's a friend of the show, but I know he's linked up with Seedsman there. I wanted to give a shout out to Can. I know he's got some stuff going on.
Dude, Don. Yeah, Don's the guy.
Don of germination.
Don and Mo. Yep, Mo's the overseas handler of Can, and awesome. Don's a freaking I consider him family, man. He's a awesome person. Got to meet him a few times. Been on a charity show they donated and stuff. So yeah, cool guy.
Yeah, I've had him on here before. I interviewed maybe a couple of years ago now, but he's definitely a cool guy. And then I've actually had my own conversations with him, just like bullshitting around, you know what I mean? And he's
Yeah.
definitely pretty legit, man.
Yeah, oh, he's very legit. I didn't realize how much of the grow he's been involved in for a long time. You know, I figured obviously with what he's
Oh
created,
yeah.
but you don't
He
really
goes way
know.
back.
Yeah, for sure. OG, you know, he was popping them. He's like, man, I was in my basement labeling all these freaking cups. He's like, I got to do something about this. I'm like, heck yeah, I would have been thinking the same thing, man. You know, I wish I would have got into all this earlier because my mind's always thinking of the next, like, you know, when you're in the grow, you really start to like think about like, how can I improve this? Like, I'm tired of doing this, tired of doing that, you know, and there's so many things. If I knew how to, I always come up with ideas, but I don't know how to follow through with them. You know what I mean? So, uh, that's my problem. I need to learn how to actually build stuff, you know?
Whenever I get stuck, I usually ask Chat GPT.
Oh yeah. That thing's awesome, man. Chat GPT's helping me out big time. For sure.
Almost definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've seen that you post that I think is really cool is like you'll post like prayers and stuff
Yeah.
on Instagram. And
Amen,
some of
brother.
it's kind of funny because like through some of the like image generation I've used from chat, I'm like, oh, he definitely used Chat GPT for this
Oh
one.
yeah. Yeah, I got to. Yeah, I'm not creative like that. I have no mind like that. But yeah, it's a cool way, you know, because I'm Jesus
And
plants,
now
right?
you're a graphic
Jesus
designer.
first. I'm a graphic designer by AI default. Yeah, for sure. For sure. But yeah, no, it's cool to be able to that's the main point in my life is to spread the gospel of Jesus, you know. It's just my belief. So, you know, I do it daily, and whoever wants to watch or read, I'm blessed to be able to spread that to them. And if not, I pray, you know, pray for their soul, you know. Amen. For sure.
Well, it's definitely something that I respect, you know what I mean? Because it's kind of like now Christian, like being openly Christian isn't always like the most like cool thing, or there's some people that'll be like, oh, you're not supposed to talk about that or
Right.
whatever. But
Yeah.
sometimes I think that's the people that you need to witness the most to. But
Yeah, and you know what,
I
man?
won't sit here and get too preachy.
No. And for me, man, it's always, you know, I'm only a few years into my faith as well, and I'm learning that it's not necessarily it's not my job to get someone to believe. It's my job to talk about it because just like this plant and growing it, how did you learn? Right? You learn
It was
from others.
presented to you.
Exactly, and others were talking about it, right? So without that, we wouldn't be able to have that knowledge. So, you know, if my most important thing that I consider a job in my life is to get people to believe in Jesus, then I got to talk about it, or else it's never going to happen. It's impossible. You know,
Yeah,
so
sometimes you just got to put a good word in.
that's it. You know, yeah.
Kind of like that's funny that the common denominator between you and Shonky Nugs is Grambo. You know so wait, let me throw this one out there. Do you know Grambo got ordained as like a minister basically in the state of Colorado to marry me and my wife?
I saw that. I did. That's awesome.
Like Grambo knows, like, I don't know, he was kind of like asking me and the wife like questions because like he wrote the ceremony like a stand-up bit, but you know, like still delivered
he's
it
a
like
comedian.
serious and everything.
Yeah, he's a
right.
comedian.
So that was kind of like his workflow of going about it. So he was like asking us questions because he's like writing it. He was nervous, like he wanted to make it like real cool for us and like do a good job, you
Beautiful.
know.
That's awesome.
So got to tip my hat to Grambo.
Amen.
But
dude, yeah.
Grambo knows that I'm Catholic because we were talking. He was like, oh, this or that, like what type of wedding ceremony did you like picture for like your dream wedding or whatever?
Yep.
I was like, well, I'm getting married at the International Church of Cannabis. But at the same time, I was like, Grambo, I really never pictured that I'd get married like outside of Catholic Church.
Yeah.
So like here comes Grambo on my wedding day. He had like the priest collar and like the whole
I saw. Oh yeah.
get up on.
Yeah, he did, man. He was ready.
But you know, Grambo's like Mr. Dick and Pussy joke. So I'm like, oh my God, Grambo's gonna get struck down by lightning.
No.
Grambo's about to get smited in the middle of the International Church of Cannabis.
He's he definitely acknowledges a higher power for sure, and I've heard him talk about it. And I'm never gonna put anyone on blast, but God bless him.
Oh
man.
yeah, no,
God
like
bless him.
Grambo is a good enough friend of mine to where like I bust his ball, he busts my balls all the time. You know what I mean? It's like
Yep.
if you're not that good of friends with me, I don't make fun of you a little bit. Like if I
Sure.
don't make fun of you at all, I don't really like you.
That's
I'm
what we
just
do
gonna
as
throw that out
friends.
there.
That's what we do as friends, man. That's what we do.
Right.
I don't know why. We
That's
just
how
do.
you know, like we feel comfortable with each other. We're like, yeah.
That's it. No, yeah, man. You gotta have fun. You know, you gotta have a good time, and as long as we're loving each other at the end of the day, and we're not going to bed all mad
It's
at
all
each
in
other.
good fun.
It's all in
There's
good
no
fun,
crying
baby.
in baseball.
No, there is not. Good old Tom Hanks. Yeah, no crying in baseball.
Old Tom.
Bad.
Well, he might have been on the list there. Did you see that?
Yeah, was he? Yeah, I'm sure.
I think so, but
Yeah, crazy,
you
crazy
know how
world.
that goes.
I do, man. The world's a little wild out there.
Let's take a brief pause. The one thing that I reminded myself to grab like 5 times while I was making tacos was my little jar of hash. I'll be back
Smash.
with you momentarily.
I'll keep smoking my joint and wiggling my head on camera. You know what I'm saying?
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Now that we're back from our intermission, the one thing I forgot to grab was my hash.
Ooh, yeah. What you got
I
there?
think that's just some like dirty hillbilly BHL that I made myself, brother.
Oh, that's not. Oh, you make
I'm a simple kind of man.
you make the BHOs?
I mean,
Ooh,
allegedly, I know a guy that knows a guy that's got
man.
this redheaded
That's the
kid that he keeps in his pantry.
And he makes BHO.
Yeah. I think his name's Skip.
Skipper?
The Skipper Doodle.
Dude, I like good BHO. If it don't give me the throat tickle, I'm good. I like the rosin too. I got to press. It's just, if it's not a good strain that doesn't press well, it's not worth it, but it's nice stuff. It's definitely nice stuff.
I mean, I pretty much smoked all my hash. I still have this, but this is basically just like a trim run out of the deep freezer that yielded pretty nice and tastes good. So, hey.
Hey, man, dude, that's what's up.
If it ain't broke, right?
Right. That's right. I got
this is what the good Lord has provided me.
Amen. Amen. That's right. It's cool. How long have you been growing for?
I mean, the first time I grew, I was probably like 14, but I didn't really know what I was doing, and I was growing with like reptile fixtures for like a reptile thing, and I was like in my closet trying to hide it from my mom. Had very success with that. Get to like 15, 16, I like made a neighborhood gang, and we like went into the woods and was doing some cultivating back there. That was probably the first real success. But
that's what's up, man. That's cool. So it's quite some time.
As far as like what I'm doing now and with like any type of proficiency, probably goes back to like probably some time in about 2020.
Okay.
So about 5-6 years now.
About the
actually
same
like
me.
doing it for real with like actual equipment and all that good stuff.
Yeah, about the same as me then. So we were probably literally the same exact time. We were like, man, I got to get into this, man. Yeah.
It's kind of funny because like what you were talking about earlier, I got the exact same Mars Hydro 4x4.
Love it. It's perfect.
I ended up no longer having a dining room. I had a grow tent with a narrow walk space to get into the kitchen.
Yep. Oh, I know.
But it was not even through my first run that I realized that the Mars Hydro 4x4 only had like 150, 200 watt light for a 4x4.
Yeah, it wasn't enough.
So before my first grow cycle was even over, I ended up switching out my light mid-flower to the Mars Hydro FCE 6500. So I threw a 730 watt in there.
You went great. Yeah, I've had that light too, man. That's a banger, dude. That's a good light.
Other things though, I still got it in my storage
Yeah,
unit.
it's a good light. I ended up giving it to my father-in-law, let him toy around with it.
But then from there, you know
it's
what I
great
mean?
light.
Went from that one 4x4, upgraded the light before I even got to my final harvest. But then like the light that came with the Mars Hydro, I was like, oh, I can stick that thing in my closet and just kind of do like a DIY veg over there. You don't need too much light for that.
Dude,
Then comes the other 4x4, the couple of 3x3s, the makeshift veg I still had going in the closet.
Hey, I seen you're building
It's a progressive
DIY.
sickness.
You're building a little mail tent, ain't you? Or a cupboard?
Oh, my little love shack. So yeah, I'm actually just getting into breeding. You know, right now everybody's kind of like up in arms about like oh, they're banning seeds, this, that, and
we'll
the
be
other.
all right, man. We'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, like, so dude, like I'm old enough and like I grew as like a kid. I had like a hippie mom. So like my mom's actually the one that taught me how to grow weed. But when I was like took the initiative to do it on my own behind her back in the closet and tried to hide it from her, she took exception with that.
Does mom grow the fire?
No, mom just smokes weed. She was like always too paranoid to grow. Yeah. She showed me how to grow weed just from like stuff she knew from like her earlier days, but like she'd get like too scared when it would start to get like a smell, so she like wouldn't even go to harvest with it. She'd end up like cut it down, throwing it. Wait, you gotta get this out of the house. I'm like, no, I could have made money off of that.
Right.
Like that was my mind as a kid.
Yeah. No, that's cool, man. No, yeah, growing's, dude, it's awesome. It's some of the most fun I've had in my life outside of sports, and it's the first. I always tell people this. It's I'm not art. I can't draw. I don't consider myself very artistic in anything, but growing, because that's an art. You know, that's a lot of
most definitely
a lot of things you got to have to come together. And it's a lot of being blessed too. It's not, you know, like going through a run and actually having like success from seed to harvest to dry and cure is more of a blessing than anything, because there's so many things that can go wrong that are out of your control sometimes too. You know, electricity.
And then there's kind of like the spiritual connection we have with the plant.
Oh, yeah,
like I know there's like times to where everything in my grow was like dead on. But like I was going through turmoil in life. My truck broke. I'm arguing this, that, like whatever. Like my grow definitely suffered as a result. But I think like everything was dialed in, didn't do anything different, but just kind of like from the vibes we give off, like sometimes it has an influence on our garden.
For sure. You know, I was thinking about this the other day. I got to get some music played in my grow. I never really have.
I've seen people do that.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking like, man, these ladies would definitely love a little bit of tunes going on for sure. You know, I'd probably make them groove a little bit, maybe grow a little faster. Who knows? You know, some more trichome heads. But
I was just watching something the other day, and they were taking these like speakers and they were putting it by like this water. But the water had some type of like carbonation or kind of like little bubbles in it.
Okay.
And they were playing like certain hertz, certain frequencies.
Yeah.
And like you could actually see the bubbles and the water like reacting to it. And they were making like different geometric patterns and stuff.
That's crazy. No, I'm sure science is pretty cool. Science is cool, man. You know what, man? I was saying this too. If they would have told us back in school, hey guys, in science class, if they would have said, hey, one day this knowledge I'm giving you might help you grow weed, we would have paid attention.
You probably would have paid attention a little bit.
I would have paid attention, you know. I wasn't really into it at the time, but it would have been something cool to know, you know. And yeah, because it's all science, man. I'm sitting here like, dude, this is all just chemistry and biology and all this stuff that I had no interest in growing up. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's really cool. It's very fun, for sure. It's definitely very fun. Yeah, I have a good time.
So what type of nutrients do you use? Do you want to walk us through your grow style, your grow setup a little bit?
So we were talking a little bit before the show. I've actually, in my 5 years, I've changed my growing styles probably like every other grow. I'm like, I'm going to try something else. So I started in soil, but had no idea really what I was doing. I was just kind of watering it, and I was adding nutrients in that look cool on certain shows and all this stuff, but not really understanding that salts don't really mix with organics very well and all that stuff. So a lot of my first grows, I've had some really successful runs, but I really didn't know what I was doing. And I went to cocoa for a little bit, and nutrient wise, I've tried them all, man. I've done lotus nutrients. I don't know. I've done
I think I've had some bloom boost from lotus before.
Yeah, if you name a nutrient, I've probably tried. I've tried general hydroponics, everything.
Well, GH3 part.
Yeah, who hasn't, right? And
that's actually what I got started off with.
Yeah, it's fine. It's all good stuff. They're all the plant.
I had found a video from I'll shout out the creator. I think it was like From Seed to Stoned. Like he was like one of the first.
Yeah.
Well, he was one of the first people that I found back in like 2019 when I first started looking it up before like I actually pulled the trigger, I was researching for like months or whatever.
Yep.
But I went with the GH3 part because he made this video where he like basically did like a walkthrough of how to use the GH3 part. Yep. And then he would put it on the screen, like basically like his like feeding chart or whatever. And I screenshotted it with my phone. So like my first run in that Mars Hydro 4x4 setup, I was literally going off of a screenshot from YouTube from Seed to Stoned on how to use my GH3 part.
It's, you know what, man, there's also like with the general hydroponics is that Lucas formula that everybody does for DWC and all that stuff.
It's
basically like taking two a lot of DWC breakdowns are like 10-part systems and all this stuff. You could literally take the micro and the bloom and just use that throughout the grow, just mixing it kind of different, and it'll work for a DWC grow. But yeah, I went from freaking cocoa. I tried the Grow A system. Shout out to them. They hooked me up with a complete system to try out, and I butchered the way to use it. I didn't understand really kind of how the ebb and flow worked at the time. Now I do. Now that I understand, I should have basically either used straight cocoa with a huge perlite mix in that if you're going to soak your plants once or twice a day, or I should have used like clay pebbles or those hydroton that you use in DWC and just used salt.
I use hydroton in my grow. Sometimes I'll put it at the bottom as drainage. Sometimes I'll use it as an IPM on top of my super soil. I'll put like 2 inches of it just to keep that top layer like nice and dry. And then if any bugs do come, they're going to have a harder time getting through. I use mulch
for that.
I mix in pumice with the hydroton, so it's like a thick rock layer that sits on top.
I might give that a try. That's probably cleaner than
pretty solid.
Mulch works, but it's freaking just dirty, man. It gets everywhere.
Yeah,
so I might give that
sometimes
a whirl.
mulch got that smell.
Yeah, that farm smell, man. I'm a Midwesterner though. It's kind of home for me. That farm
most
smell.
Definitely.
Yeah, but no, I went from that. Then I went to a couple grows ago. I went to DWC and tried that out for a grow, and had some good luck with it. But I also had some hard times with it. It's easy for me. It was easy through up to flower, and then once you get the flower, it kind of got out of hand. My plants were huge. Trying to switch out the water, even though I have drains on my floor. I had the perfect setup for it. But I was only doing 4 plants, and it was just a little bit much for my lifestyle. I think a RDWC is worth it, where you have like a reservoir, you do everything in there, and then the buckets get circulated the water to them. But trying to do an actual like DWC with multiple buckets, you're working. Like it's a job. So it was too much.
I know Ruse Goofy really kills it with I want to say he does RWC, whichever one is like that bucket, the self-contained one.
Yeah, he's probably got a reservoir that he does all his mixing, and he empties out and refills back in there. If you do that,
he definitely kills it with that type of style.
Dude, it's
like anytime I've done any type of research on it, like maybe 10, 15 minutes into the video, I just kind of like, nope. Nope.
Dude, it's not as it's fun, and it taught me more about the root system. It actually helped me
Really?
it helped me understand the roots and kind of what they want and what they like and what they don't like. And you see them live. That's what's cool. You can see if they're struggling
That
or if
is
they're
pretty
liking
cool,
what you,
actually.
yeah, for sure. And now I'm back in I'm a full organic soil setup now, and I love it. I got
Loyal to the
worms.
soil, baby.
Yep. I do dry amendments and top dressings, which is usually just earthworm castings, and I've been using Stash Blend Bloom I got from Rob CLTV back when he was on a show. He donated a bunch. He ended up sending me a bunch of packs. So I've been using that, and I
Big
do an
shout out to Rob.
occasional. Yeah, big shout out to Rob. Awesome person. He's
That's the homie right there.
I call him a friend. Yeah, I call him a friend for sure. But yeah, I've been using that with I amend my soil together pretty well. I use TerraCraft soil, the Mother Earth. It's at Ace Hardware. It's indoor.
Yeah.
It's in their
You ever
store.
sneak a little compost in there?
You know what? I use earthworm castings. I do have a few composts that I have for backup, but my main go-to is earthworm castings because my red wigglers love them.
I like to mix both.
Yeah,
especially in like the bottom third of my pots. I always do a really hot layer, like almost like a subcool kind of thing down there with the compost, the worm castings.
Yeah, I definitely
ocean forest.
Definitely do a hotter bottom third for sure. I started doing that drainage layer as well because I do auto pots, and even though I use their air domes, which are awesome, but I still do a drainage layer. I learned about that. I'm like, that makes a lot of sense, man. That makes your roots aren't ever kind of sitting in water. You know what I mean? They're
right. Because when you do got like rocks or something down there, not to say that the roots won't poke through eventually, but it makes it a little bit harder. So you're kind of putting
and
like
that bottom
root
soil
barrier down there.
Right. It's not as, I guess,
gives it something to bottom out on.
Yep, for sure. So it's been working well for me. The auto pots are, shout out to that system and that company because, watering is one of the hardest things too in cannabis growing, especially in different types of beds and in pots and all that stuff.
Overwatering, being
underwater, you name
paranoid of overwatering because you heard about it so much. So now you're underwatering your plants.
Right, exactly. So it's an art, that's one of the hardest things. And I'd say over the years I've gotten pretty good at understanding how to, read the weight of the pot. I started buying those cheap moisture meters with the green tops, and I put them in all my plants. Have them. I even buy those. I don't put them in all of them, but I'll buy like the electric pH reader and have them in a pot. Just turn it on real quick, see where I'm at. I just like to keep an eye on everything. But those I suggest people get those moisture meters. You can get a 2-pack for like $10 on Amazon, and just put them in your pots. Yeah, so you always know what you're sitting at, even if you're using auto pots or bottom watering systems. But yeah,
after a while though, once you got your mechanics dialed in though, the easiest way to do it is just to test your pot weight. Just know about how it feels when you just water all the way to the point of saturation, back it off, and then know how much your pot weighs when before you watered it or anything.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you can get a feel for both of those, you can just kind of do one of these and you're at.
Yeah, for sure. It's like you said, it's just experience, and it's kind of, as the years
go
on.
After a while, you'll be able to eyeball that shit.
Yeah, you can even read your leaves. You can see if they're sitting right.
Almost
if they're sitting level or praying, you're good. You don't want praying too much. I guess I don't know why. I always thought praying was great, but I've heard even that can be a sign of something. But if they're praying to me, or if they're sitting flat or kind of elevated or like this, they're good. They're looking well. If the ends aren't clawing down, if everyone's kind of straight or not curling in or tacoing, or new growth always looking green, stuff like that. It's just reading your plant. It's over the years I'm learning more and more, and also staying in tune and studying and watching people on YouTube, guys like us, or the community knows more about growing than anybody. You talk to anyone, and I'm sure somebody has a answer to a question. So there's always someone willing
Whatever
to
I
help out.
don't know, somebody in chat's always got the
That's what I'm
answer.
saying. Exactly. So there's always an answer to a question. So you just got to ask it sometimes, or just Google, Chat GPT. I don't suggest to die hard learn how to grow out there, but at the same time, it does have, a quick answer to like, hey, what does this nutrient do? Hey, if I'm in, you know what I mean? You can get a quick answer. Or
The other thing that's kind of nice too, you can take like if you get like your jeweler's loop, you can put it like in front of your phone.
I do that.
So it's like a
great.
$7 Amazon way to like have a microscope kind of thing. You
Yep.
can take pictures of bugs. And if you're not quite sure what the bug is, if you get a good enough picture, you can load it into Chat GPT and be like, hey, I just found this on my plants. What do you think this is?
Yep, for sure. Absolutely. It's, that's just using AI and things like that to our advantage, right? You're using it for good. You're using it to better yourself, better your plant, better your environment, not to do crazy stuff, But yeah, I agree, man. I'm on there, like I asked even for my last, I said, hey, I said, I'm using the 6.6 gallon hard pots for the auto pot system. I wanted help with like setting up a perfect dry amendment setup with red wiggler worms and what I plan to do. And it kind of like gave me some suggestions of
the
like
breakdown, the conversions of, maybe you should have X amount of population per gallons of soil or whatever it happened to be.
Yeah. And
I want to drop a gem for everybody out there too. If you're making edibles out there at home, but you have no idea on how to dose your edibles, you can tell ChatGPT how much base, how much flour you started with, and like how much butter or coconut oil you added it into. I make enough that fills 6 like standard butter molds.
Yep.
So then I'll be like, hey, from these 6 butter molds with this amount of weed in there, I'll give like an approximate THC percentage. So I'll say, let's put it at like 18% THC. And then I'll be like, and then I use 2 tablespoons of that concentrate and it went into 12 muffins. How much is each muffin per like dosage, like per
500 milligrams?
No, it's never that bad, but it's usually like that would be 87.3 milligrams from the numbers that you gave me.
Yep.
But if you walk chat through like each step of what you're doing to make whatever you're making, if your prompt is right, it will give you the exact dosage.
Yep. And you can even tell it to like save stuff. Like I'm like, hey, save that. Remember that. So it's helped me like make my, I'm like you said, you're getting into breeding. Well, I'm already kind of in the testing phase of my breeding. I came out with my first batch of seeds and I already got them out testing stuff. So I'm kind of developing the brand a little bit. Yeah. So it's helping me develop because I'm not a guy.
What did you breed? Tell us about it a little bit.
Oh, okay. So no problem. Firmament
Don't
Dreams.
mind if I do.
I'm actually growing it out now. If you go on my Instagram, I'm doing test runs of Firmament Dreams, which is the Green Bodies 89 Northern Lights was the male. And I pollinated a Amnesia female from a pack from Seedsman. So I've heard some good reviews from it. I found a female that was giving me some nice like purple hues, but not a purple weed. And it had that like marker smell, that really strong marker smell. Yeah. And I was really not
RS11 on there.
Yeah, it was hitting the right notes. And the 89 Northern Lights, I've heard nothing but good things. I've grown Northern Lights out, but never Green Bodies. But found a male that was just big and nice looking in a tent that I was kind of abusing. So the firmament's looking really well. And it's smelling awesome. And I got a male. We're hunting males of it right now. I'm going to F2 it, just kind of work it. And then the other cross these are my feet. That lamb's blood is dude, that's a crazy story with that one. I'll get into that in a second. I'll tell that one in a second. I'm going to finish the regs. So the other reg seed that we created is Scarlet Robe, which is The 89 Northern Lights is the male, and we crossed it with Seedsman's Cherry Punch, which I've grown a few times and had some experience with, and it's a very frosty, beautiful plant. It's got that deep, like red purple hues in it, in its fade and the leaves and all that. It's really fun to grow. I got 2 of them popped right now, females, and I also have 2 males that we're growing out to. We're hunting males. We're basically F2. All the reg seeds are getting F2'd, and they're going to get crossed with that lamb's blood, which I'll talk about in a second.
And the lamb's blood to all of them, huh?
Because you've seen that one, I'm sure.
I've seen it.
It's insane, and the story's really cool.
So we're not going to put any weed pictures on here, chat, just because I don't want to get this video age gated. Yep. But if you guys did want to see what we're talking about and follow along, if you go down to the description, there's going to be a really nice clickable link to see everything we're talking about.
Yep, for sure. And if anybody's interested in getting some testers, I don't have much left, but I'm definitely willing to get them out there, and I'd love some feedback. All I ask for is just pictures in return. I don't plan on going live with anything for a little bit until I know that what I'm going to give out to the public is worth their time, because it's a 4-month venture, right? When you grow someone's plant, that's essentially 4 months of their time you're taking up. And in the state of Illinois where I live, I can only grow 5 flowering plants. So, if you take up 1/5 of my grow, I hope it's worth it.
Not to mention the money that you're spending on the lights, that you're spending on cooling, the money that you're spending on soil, all of your amendments.
For sure. Yep, for sure.
It's a financial investment at the same time.
It is. For me, I'm no expert in breeding at all. I just tried it, right? I tried it, and
you just know what you like.
So getting these seeds, like so far, everything I've popped has been absolute fire. I'm very happy with. It's a blessing, which I'll get into that lamb's blood next. My first breeding venture before the reg seed tent happened, I actually had my first time growing purple punch, never grew it before. This plant was looking freaking awesome, right? Had it with in a room with a cherry punch, in a room with a Godfather OG, and I believe that's it. So I had those 3 going on. The purple punch, one day I'm in there and I look. I'm like, what is that? Freaking nanner. I'm like, shit. And I look and it opened. I'm like, and I saw pollen come on. I'm like, oh no. So I got it out of there, but I didn't throw it away because it looked.
Got the water bottle, just start spraying everything down.
All right. So.
And after a slight technical difficulty, we'll get back with the show.
All right. So had the purple punch, shoot a nanner, and I saw it open. I was like, we've all had that happen, I'm sure. And I usually throw them away. But this purple punch, and it's on my Instagram somewhere. If you scroll down, I post a lot of stuff, but it's in there. It was fire. I'm talking like big, huge plant, big, frosty, leaf kind of fading purple, but the bud itself was more of like a green covered in white trichome with a little bit of purple hue, stuff I like.
Ooh.
So I threw it in
almost like a little bit of sunset sherbet on it.
Yeah, exactly. It was beautiful. Yeah, that's a beautiful description of it. Yeah, it was great. It smelled fantastic. It has that like deep purple punch, like skunky pungent smell. It's amazing. So I was like, I'm not going to get rid of you. I don't know why, but I'm going to throw you in my garage because it was like week 4 or 5 of flower. So I had like 4 weeks left. Threw it in there just to see how it finished. And I wanted to see what happened. And I noticed, it definitely pollinated what I had going on in my grow. So I said, whatever, I'm going to let this go. I'm going to take the seeds, and you're not supposed to use seeds from I'm not going to breed with these seeds,
Right,
but I'm going to see what I'm going to pop a few and see what happens. So I popped
a couple bag seeds, see what's going on.
I did. And I popped 1 cherry punch, purple punch. And that was that lamb's blood. I popped 1.
Ooh.
Popped 1. I gave a few out to some buddies and they popped them too. And they grew some fire with them as well. But I popped 1 and it started growing and it hasn't hermed. I've ran it now. This is my 4th run of it. No herms at all.
I'm getting it out to other people too to see if it's, I want to make sure in other environments it's
Stress
not
tested and different environments and everything.
Yeah, but
just
I think I'm good. I think I'm good. It's absolute fire. It's straight. Hey, if you want to smoke it, dude, August 2nd, there's a Grow Cup in Wheeling, Illinois. I'm entering it in it. So,
really?
Yeah, it's Aroma Grow Cup. Check them out.
Oh, you know what? I follow. Shout out to Aroma Grow Store.
Yeah,
I follow them on Instagram.
Me too.
had like conversations with the owner, the long hair guy with the glasses, right?
Yeah.
So I've actually had conversations with them before, but I've never made my way out there. Give me the details.
I will
off camera. I'll stop by.
I definitely will. Yeah, I'll be out there for sure. I'm gonna bring actually me and the Seedsman crew, Big Toes and my buddy, and our picker packer Jake. We're all gonna head out there. They got it's kind of like the DGC setup, but the judging's different. You got to enter your stuff in before they judge it, and then they just award it out at the show. So
you can count me in, brother. I'll come.
Yeah, cool, man. That sounds awesome. Yeah, we'll smoke some lamb's blood, brother. I'll bring a few joints. Yeah, for sure. But it's fire, dude. It's I posted all over the place. It's the best way I can explain it right now. It's curing. I got a Canatrol, so it's getting the best dry cure you can possibly get. It's got a very purple. If you ever smoked or smelt purple punch, you know what I'm talking about. It's got a purple punch nose, but it's got like a creamy doughy from like wedding cake somehow. I don't even know how, but it's got that like funky
little cakey, cookie kind of thing to it.
Yeah, very
little
creamy.
bit of pastry on it.
Yep, and the trichomes are it's like a sand dust, like it got rolled in sugar, man. It looks freaking nuts, dude. And it's it gets me super stoned. That's why I love it. That's what made me actually like go, okay, this is something that I actually like, because it gets me, I'm more of a dabber, and a lot of flowers for me, if they're not flavorful, they just don't do it. But the high is usually just like, it's whatever, but man, this one gets me stoned. So, and everyone's different. That doesn't mean it's going to get everybody stoned. But for me, it hits all the check marks, checks all the boxes. It's got bag appeal times 10, dude. You got to see it. Wait till you see it. It's crazy. Some of the crazy stuff.
Come check it out, man.
Yeah, it's wild, dude. It'll be about a month cured by then too, a month and a half cured. So it'll probably be at its
perfect.
It'll be at its peak. Yeah, for sure. And I'll bring it. I got my little Sea Vault thing. I'll bring it in with
nice.
Heavy packs. Yeah, I'm all about. I've learned that's one other thing. I said if I could start all over and growing, I would have learned IPM, and second would have been drying and curing. You can grow the best stuff in the world, but if you don't know how to dry it and cure it, it's not going to be the best after.
Ruined it in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. It's
and there definitely is a lot of funky things that can happen if you don't really know what you're doing, or you just kind of like go about it in any kind of way.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, it's if
there goes 4 months of my electricity bill out the window.
That's what I'm saying, man. If you're not blessed to have a nice room set up with a consistent temperature, you can do fine. You don't need a Canatrol. For me, I did, because I was
I'm a
drying.
good old lung room dryer.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'd love to build one, but I just don't. I'm out of space where I'm at, so that was my.
No, I literally dry in my lung room with my temps.
Yeah, dude. I was doing that, but it was in my garage, and
I
was fine. I was fine in the wintertime. I was doing fine, but summer just didn't work. There'd be those days where it just rained like crazy, and it'd leak in my garage, and not in the tent or anything like that, but it would just be like,
right, but just from the moisture in the air, the buds are getting like soggy, and then they might start getting like a mildew smell, or
it's
kind
just
of moldy.
People don't realize it's not actually it's not the humidity level. It's like the dew point, and like there's other things that go into like a good dry and cure, So yeah, I bought that Canatrol. Now it's rocking and rolling now, so I'm loving it, man. I'm excited to smoke one with you, man. We're gonna have a good time for sure.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and mark it on my calendar. I'm gonna come up for sure. That's only maybe like an hour from me, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, man.
But I do think we're gonna start wrapping it up a bit here for the episode. But on the way out, is there any shout outs that you want to give?
Like I said, their next Seeds for Charity show is July 10th. We got
7:10, easy to remember.
7:10. Our guests, we have Chubskis from 420 Fast Bloods. We got Mikey from 420 Things Grow.
420 Bangs.
Yeah, we got
big shout out to Mikey.
We're doing Operation Green Healing, which is a they were previously Operation 1620 we did before, but they've changed their name, and
I forget the guy's name, but
Terry
I've definitely seen him.
Terry and
the older
CJ.
Guy.
Yeah, Terry and CJ. I think they were.
I've definitely seen him the past. I want to say 3 years in a row. I see him every year.
Yep. So yeah, man, we're that's our next beneficiary for the charity, and should be a great show, man. We're going to be some awesome packs. Every month is pretty crazy, and we're starting to get clones on the show now too. There's a lot of people.
Do you want to give maybe a little teaser for the people out there if they tune in on 7:10? Do you got any high ticket items kind of ranged already? What's like the Charizard Pokemon card you got in there right now?
I don't have anything specifically lined up yet because I've been a little busy doing other things, but I'll say there's a lot of packs with some strains that you can't get anywhere else but on this show for sure, because they're from breeders and people who haven't necessarily released things to the public, or they're maybe not available on their websites anymore or anything like that. There's always
Jim from Seedsman. Maybe you have some unique access there, huh?
Maybe not from Tom's Seedsman's seeds, but no, for sure. I do have
not Tom from MySpace.
Yeah, right. I do have a crazy collection. People have blessed me with so many different packs and gifts from just different shows, and I'm sure you could say
the things that we accumulate over the years.
Yeah, man, it's such a blessing just to know everyone in the community and just be a part of it all. But yeah, no, that's my only big shout out would be just the charity. Always wanting people to know about that. And hey, man, it's also a good way to get yourself a nice little seed collection in literally just one auction. It's you'll spend some money, but you'll get stuff at a price that you can't get if you were to buy them all individually. You'd be spending. I priced them out before. Some of our packs are worth over $1,000. If you were to buy them full retail. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Some good stuff. Usually average like 7 to 10 packs, seed packs per auction item, if that makes sense. There's 5
per lot.
Per lot. There you go. Per auction lot, there's about between 7 and 10 packs, and that includes we give out stickers and little memorabilia stuff too, so it's always really cool.
It's cool. Plus, you know what I mean, it's always going to a really good cause.
All goes to charity. There's we don't we spend money in this. I spend money in this. There's no one's collecting anything. At some point I want to go live with my Jesus plants seeds and all that stuff, but that's in the future. So that's the only way you guys can ever give back to that and help me out is that. But yeah, the charities, that's the hit. So hope to see you guys on the 10th for sure.
Oh, most definitely. And then even though I do have all your links down in the description, if anybody wanted to go, do you just want to tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, I'm at Jesus Plants on Instagram, also on YouTube as well. And I'm on Discord too. I don't keep up with it that much. So if you ever reach out on there,
Discord lexic.
Man, I am too. I don't know what it is. It's just like my brain won't grab another.
Wrap around it.
Instagram, I talk to people, and
I think we're about a generation too late to understand the Discords there, brother. I don't get it.
I don't know what it is. It's like the layout of it or what. It freaks me out. There's too much going on, Yeah. But no, yeah, you guys can reach out to me.
Probably Chinese spyware anyways.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But no, I appreciate you having me on here, man. It's a blessing to know you and get to know you. And, I can't wait to meet you again. Well, I've already met you in person, but to hang out a little bit more than last time, for sure.
Oh, most definitely, man.
Yeah, for sure.
But until next time, guys. Peace.
Peace.